What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. Listen, this is just thoughts, okay? These are thoughts that I have in my head. So, the Media Fake Out, aka Media Takeout, is reporting that Kandi is thinking about pursuing legal action against Rocky Bivens and Latocha Scott. Now, listen, I don't really pay Media Takeout a whole lot of attention because I know that a lot of their stories tend to be exaggerations and sometimes, not as factual. But I'm thinking about some things, right? So let's think about some things. Now, Kandi did say on her Speak On It Sunday night that she's really tired of when people want to come for her, they come for her husband. Now, in that moment, she was speaking on the Tamar incident, but she mentioned that a few times about how she don't appreciate people coming for her husband when they're mad at her or when they got an issue with her, right? Now, if we go back to that Tasha K situation on Friday night where she leaked the phone call between her and Rocky Bivens, we know that Rocky made some comments about Todd. Now, I ain't about to get into that. If y'all don't know what it is, y'all go back to Tasha K, y'all go listen for yourselves. But he made some very disparaging allegations as it relates to Todd and some sexual acts with some people, right? So then we saw today when Tamika dropped her receipts, she was allegedly being blackmailed by this anonymous or threatened of blackmail by this anonymous text message, right? Let's look at it again. We talked about this earlier, y'all, but before I go to bed, I just had some thoughts, and I thought I would bring them down here to y'all. Now, I know that y'all not going to really be able to see. Y'all can see this, right? Now, I'm not going to read it, but y'all can see it at the bottom. The person who sent this message to Tamika alleges the exact same allegations that Rocky made about Todd on that Tasha K phone call, right? Now, again, I don't believe it. It is what it is. But for him to throw those accusations out there. And then Kandi also alluded to some shady business practices as it relates to Rocky. She mentioned that a few times, and she also says, listen, in the next 2 episodes, which we only have 2 more episodes left of this show, because I don't think there'll be a season 2, honey. Although I could potentially see a season 2. Hold on, I'm gonna come back to that season 2 situation. Okay, so we see where she talked about in the next couple of episodes, we're going to see exactly where Rocky did some things as it relates to a promoter and things of that nature. Now, one thing Kandi don't play about is her family and her money. Yeah, well, 2 things, I guess I should say. 2 things Kandi Burrs don't play about is her money and her family. And in both situations, Rocky playing in her face as it relates to her money and her family, right? Now, the reality of the situation is litigation is very expensive. And, when you see somebody that don't have the money to begin with, I mean, is it really worth it? I don't know. It could be the principle behind it. Some people sue out of principle knowing they're not going to get a lot of money, but that they want to, just send a message and tell somebody to shut up. I could easily see a cease and desist coming to Rocky as it relates to him making these comments about her family. But again, the business practice side of this is very interesting. Now, the other thing is Kandi made it very clear at the end of her Speak On It that she is not interested in ever singing on the same stage with Latocha again. I honestly feel like Xscape as we know it, we will never see again. And that's just, listen, never is a strong word, you guys. Never is a strong word. And my God is an awesome God. So if it's meant to be that they find a way back together, then I know that can happen. But where we are today, in the year of our Lord of 2023, y'all don't see that thing happening. Now, Tamika dropping her receipts also leads me to believe that some decisions have been made. Now, the Media Takeout article does speak to the fact that the 3 remaining members have had some conversations to decide about their future plans and where they're going to go and how they're going to move forward as a group. And I believe those conversations were had. I don't think they were had after this weekend. I think those conversations have been had probably since June of last year. But I feel like Tamika dropping those receipts was also her way of putting a period and an exclamation point on her relationship with her sister, especially as it relates to the group. Again, my God is an awesome God, and they are sisters, and blood is blood. So is there a way for them to find their way back to each other? I mean, maybe one day. Certainly not now. Certainly not next week. Hell, probably not even next year. But if both of them come with a humble heart and are willing to admit where their faults were and take accountability, yeah, I mean, I feel like forgiveness can happen, but I just don't see it happening anytime soon. So as a result, Tamika went scorched earth today. Like, she opened up the door on the show, and then she sort of just went scorched earth. Now, I said a few minutes ago that I see a path for maybe a season 2. And what I mean by that is I see a path for a season 2 with the 3 remaining members, showing how they were able to push through what happened, come together, and still make Xscape 3 work, or however they're going to reinvent themselves. If they decide to go into the studio and make new music, if they, I could potentially see that. Although I doubt it. Like, I doubt that that'll happen. I'm going to be honest with you. I would love, and shout out to my boy Mims, because I think he said this earlier on his live. I would love to see Tamika on, like, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, I think she will make a great addition. She's definitely got a personality. She definitely brings something to the table. We know she already has a relationship with Kandi. And she probably has a relationship with some of the other ladies that are on the show, just being in Atlanta for as long as she's been and being in the industry, right? So I could definitely see that as an addition. But this version of the show, I don't know. I don't know if we can get an Xscape season 3 out of this, because I don't know. I don't know if we care. I don't know if we care. But I will say this. I would not be surprised, because like I said, normally media takeout stuff goes over my head. I'll be like, okay, it's whatever. But honestly, y'all, I wouldn't be surprised if Kandi did weigh out some legal remedies, especially if Rocky continues to spread this lie and continues to spread this rumor. I could see Kandi at the very least sending out a cease and desist, so he'll stop saying it and stop repeating it. Now, is it going to actually turn into litigation? Only time will tell. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely feel like conversations have been had. This thing has been a really wild roller coaster. And if you had asked me 6 weeks ago, this is what it was going to be, I would be like, no. I mean, we knew that there had been strife. We knew that there was stuff going on with them. But baby, I don't think anybody was ready for this. Now, I'm going to say this to Miss Tamika, and I like you, Tamika, and I do believe your story. But let me tell you what I don't think I believe as much. I don't know if I believe this was an accident. And what I mean by that is, I don't think you did it for a storyline. But I do think that you were at the end of your rope. I do feel like you were tired of being manipulated by your sister and by your mother. I do feel like you were tired of feeling like, oh man, out, and no matter what you do, you're never going to be as good as your sister. And I feel like you took a swipe to get them off your back. You knew the camera was there. You knew that this was going to be explosive. You're not naive, and you're not new to this. You knew that this was going to be a firestorm. And of course, once you said it, you couldn't unring that bell, because Bravo was like, oh, no. We got a powder keg here, and we are ready for it. So with that being said, I don't know if it was as innocent of a blurt out as you're saying. But I don't think it was premeditated from the point of view of, this is what I'm gonna make my storyline, and I'm gonna get my sister, and I'm gonna get my mom. I don't think it was like that. But I do think that for a very long time, you have felt like the ugly duckling. I do feel like for a very long time, you've been pushed to the back. And even listening to that story today where your sister cut you out of the gospel album, I mean, I just think stuff builds up and builds up and builds up. And at a certain point, all it takes is a little spark and it's kaboom. And I really think that's what we witnessed. I really think that's what we saw as it relates to this whole situation. So anyway, I'm just rambling before I go to bed, y'all. This whole situation has been so much these last couple of weeks. But what do you guys think? Like, I honestly want to know, do you think that Kandi is looking at legal action? Do you think Kandi should pursue legal action based on the stories that Rocky is putting out there? And if there is some other financial fraud as it relates to promoters and money and shows, over the next couple of weeks. I don't know, you guys, but we do know that Kandi let us know that in the next 2 episodes, we are going to get some insight into some potential shady dealings with promoters and with Rocky and Latocha. So I don't know. I'm just rambling before I go to bed. You guys tell me what you think. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.